Hi friends, hope you're all doing good and taking care of your family and your loved ones. Please stay safe. I've been missing drawing live cartoons for cartoon lovers. It's been hectic personally, but I've been sharing some videos. I can't call them tutorials because I was not sharing any technical side of the cartooning process. But I wanted to share a little bit about the ideation process because I get lots of inquiries from cartoon lovers about the ideation, the thought process. But let me warn you that it's really difficult. I find it impossible to share the thought process because most of the ideas are spontaneous. Sometimes you want to work on a certain subject after a news break and you get an idea immediately, but sometimes you have to think about it, you have to spend a day or a few hours on the subject to come up with a better idea. Of course, you get lots of ideas during the ideation process, but you want to work on every idea you get. You want to refine it, you want to spend time with it, you want to improvise it, you want to make it more intelligent, more humorous if needed, uh, more refined basically. So it takes time. So idea does not happen immediately all the time. So that's the truth. You have to deal with it. Sometimes you don't get an idea about a certain news break. Sometimes you get an idea immediately and you draw it and complete it and post it immediately. Today I wanted to share a little bit about the idea I'm working on. We had the Prime Minister addressing the nation. At the end of the address, he announced how the central government is going to take care of the vaccination completely. So people are not surprised because for the last many days, Supreme Court has been appealing of the central government for its inconsistent vaccination policy. How there are so many loopholes. Most of the journalists have been waiting for central government's reaction to the Supreme Court observation. Finally, as the central government came up with an announcement. But at the end of the day, I saw some news anchors, mostly from the mainstream media, talking about how this announcement has nothing to do with the Supreme Court observation. The one thing I observed was that most of these tweets were in tandem. The tone of the tweets are similar and they all quoted government sources. So hope you'll enjoy this cartoon. I'm not sure how many of you are interested in taking up cartooning as a profession or as a serious hobby. Either case, it's a great development. It's a great sign for democracy, not just for the art of cartooning, even for democracy. Because when you are interested in editorial cartooning, you take keen interest in the developments in the country, the political development, the social changes in the country, the social experiments, and the economic situations, and how we are doing as a nation in the world, and many other things. That's a good sign for any democracy. People have to be aware of what's happening around them, and cartooning and your enthusiasm in cartooning is a good excuse to follow current affairs, the news. So that way it's a great development. I can see that lots of people are interested in the art of cartooning. In many cases comes from their interest in current affairs, and in some cases it's because of their interest in art, or they used to draw cartoons during their college days or school days. Then they got into another profession and they stopped cartooning or drawing, and after seeing cartoons on social media, they want to come back to the drawing board and start sketching. It's a good sign. I would encourage them to take up cartooning seriously. Even if they don't want to become a cartoonist, you can still draw cartoons and post them on social media. And if it's not for commercial reasons,
It's a good way to express your opinion through cartoons. It's right to express your opinion. And if you have an art form to express your opinion, that's a great thing. So today the cartoon will be on the situation of media in India now. As I said earlier, it's basically about how our mainstream media reacted to the announcement made by the Prime Minister. Not just in this case, even in earlier cases, on many occasions, our media tried to defend the government. They tried to justify the government actions, justify the policies of the government. That's not what media is supposed to do. So I want media to be more responsible, more proactive, and they need to keep questioning the government. Normally when I draw cartoons, or when there are characters which are familiar to the readers, I try to keep a copy of the a photograph of the person and then draw a caricature. But in this case, I'm just drawing them from memory. Some of these characters are familiar to you, so I'll just draw from the memory, and so any resemblance to the existing persons is purely intentional. So this is a rough caricature of someone you all know. See, before I started using the Wacom Simpic, I used to draw on paper and scan the cartoons onto the computer, then color it in Photoshop using mouse. It was tedious. Now also, while using the Wacom Simpic, I start with a pencil sketch. I pick a pencil brush and start the rough sketch. It's very rough, and sometimes you won't be able to understand what's going on the drawing board. I just want some indication, rough indication of the character, or the pose, or the action. Now I use Krita software. Lots of people are asking about the app I use. I know there are many apps which do lots of things for you, which make your life easier. But I don't think there is any app you can create cartoons. Only you can create cartoons, and I can bet you that you can draw better cartoons than any app. Editorial cartooning is mostly about the idea, and no app can create ideas. So you have to do ideation process, and it's a beautiful process. You start with some news, and you come up with a beautiful cartoon, some powerful cartoon. That's a beautiful process. So after I'm done with the pencil sketch, I try to ink it. While inking, I create, I add some details, and sometimes I create a different character from the pencil sketch. The character totally changes after I do the final inking. It's not intentional. There is no hard and fast rule. You keep on improving your drawing. I confess that I don't watch many of these anchors, so I'm not very familiar with their faces. Whatever I've seen them on social media, especially on Twitter, and some of them are hilarious. Of course, there are many journalists who are doing a great job, especially independent voices. Financially, they're not doing good, but the passion is driving them. you try to simplify the characters, you try to simplify a complex issue and try to explain it in drawing. So the inking part is done now. So I need to start coloring. Coloring will take some time because there are some 7, 8 characters, and I want to put some details while drawing these characters. Now I use Krita because for coloring here I find it very convenient. I find it very smooth to coloring. I always enjoy the working on Photoshop also. I know what you are thinking now. I mean, you may be visualizing different characters or different news anchors. You want to see those anchors in these cartoons. You might find some of them. You may not find all of them. And some characters may be random ones here. They may not resemble the actual news anchors. I'm just trying to draw some characters, that's it. This coloring part is enjoyable because you get to play with colors. As you spend more time in coloring, you get better results. And you can give lots of depth to the cartoon and characters while coloring. I'm not an expert in coloring, but I enjoy coloring and I try to learn every day. I'm not sure whether the procedure I follow to color my cartoons, it may not be copybook style. I mean, I learned it on my own. I used trial and error methods, and it works for me. As long as it works for me, it's good for me. Of course, you can follow your own method to coloring, but what's more important is you should enjoy whatever you do. It could be coloring, it could be sketching, it could be ideation process. You should enjoy it, then only the cartoons get better. As an artist, we all have some advantages as an individual, and we have some drawbacks as an individual. So you have to work around all these drawbacks, and you have to work on your advantages, and you should keep upgrading your skills. Sometimes you have to work within the boundary, but even within that boundary you can excel, because you can do lots of stunning things within that boundary. I did not keep these characters in cartoonish way. I tried to keep them in caricaturish way. I tried to give some character to this face. Most enjoyable part in a cartoon is drawing characters. I loved creating these characters. This is so much fun because you see so many characters in your life, and some characters stand out in your memory. You keep remembering those characters, but while drawing a cartoon, comfortable using computer, you can start coloring these cartoons in your own way, in traditional way, by using traditional colors on paper. This cartoon took around 50 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes. I don't want to bore you with a long video, so I have condensed this video into some 20-25 minutes or 30 minutes. I try to add some narration. I hope you enjoyed it. My only suggestion is keep working on drawing, keep working on ideas, keep following news. As you follow news, as you read more, you get better ideas. You start understanding the news better. Now the characters are done, and I want to put the layout here. This is an important part of a cartoon, any cartoon, because there is a direction to how readers look at a cartoon. So I want to follow that direction to create an impact. I want to lead them in a certain way. So I'll start with the main character at the top, and I want to arrange these characters in a certain way that the punch is served at the end. I hope you enjoyed this session. I try to share with you whatever I know. I don't think I know everything. I can only share what I know, and what I have learned in this profession is through observing other people, getting tips from other cartoonists, and sometimes copying other cartoonists' works, and sometimes learning from observation. It's a vast art form. You can keep improving all the time, you can keep learning all the time, and keep learning. I hope you continue to draw, I hope you continue to sketch, follow news, and you continue to remain alert. Thank you.